Chapter: The Nuclear Option. The meeting room was a tomb of chrome and glass, a cold, gleaming box where polished surfaces reflected the faces of power and paranoia. The table was a black mirror, its surface shimmering with floating holographic blueprints, the Hive Nexuses, towering spires of automated life, each one a fortress of chittering protein. But today, the room was more than a boardroom. It was a war room. Seated at the table were the most powerful people in the country, faces lined with exhaustion and calculation. At the head of the table, President Ellen Hayes, her expression carved from marble, watched in silence. Beside her, Secretary Mcallen of the Department of Defense, a lean, silver-haired man with the bearing of a general. To his left, Secretary Willis of the Department of Energy, his thick glasses gleaming under the sterile light. Opposite him, Secretary Langford of the Department of Agriculture, her face a mask of forced calm, hands folded to hide the tension in her fingers. And at the center of it all, Hartley, the lead systems architect for CRICKETS.EXE, his voice steady, his gaze locked on the holographic displays.
Madam President, esteemed secretaries,
Hartley began, his voice steady.
CRICKETS.EXE is a scalable, resilient food distribution network. Automated cricket farms, the Hive Nexuses, will provide a continuous supply of protein to urban centers distributed via biometric vending units.
Spare us the pitch.
Secretary Mcallen snapped, his voice a low growl.
We've all seen the marketing. What we're here to discuss is the real threat.
Hartley's jaw tightened.
The Hive Nexuses are designed for complete containment, triple reinforced polymer glass, atmospheric isolation. In the event of a containment breach,
let's not waste time pretending any of that is foolproof.
Secretary Langford interrupted, leaning forward.
These are not just crickets. They're engineered for rapid growth, hyper-efficient metabolism, and aggressive feeding behavior. If they escape,
they won't escape.
Hartley said, his voice calm but thin.
Every system fails.
Secretary Willis murmured, tapping his pen against the table.
Even the hives, especially when scaled to 272 facilities worldwide, each housing 200 million live insects.
That's 54 billion crickets.
Secretary Mcallen said, his tone almost bored.
So, Hartley, what's your plan when the inevitable happens?
Hartley cleared his throat.
In the unlikely event of a containment breach.
Unlikely?
Langford scoffed.
We're building ticking time bombs in the middle of our cities.
Hartley's fingers tightened around the edge of the table.
In the event of a breach, the hive triggers a full vacuum purge, complete oxygen deprivation. No air, no survival. The crickets suffocate.
For the ones still in the hive.
Langford snapped.
But what happens when they breach a slurry pipe? When a worker walks out with a few tucked into the tread of their boots? When a packet malfunctions and dispenses live crickets instead of powder?
They die.
Hartley insisted.
The containment protocols.
They adapt.
Langford interrupted, her voice cold and fierce.
They're insects. They're engineered for resilience. If a swarm escapes, they won't just die, they'll spread, they'll swarm into the city, into the fields, they'll devour crops, choke irrigation lines, drown entire ecosystems in protein biomass.
They're a synthetic species.
Willis whispered.
If they hybridize with local insects, we have no way to predict the ecological fallout. Imagine them breeding with locusts, a swarm that doesn't die, that doesn't migrate, that just keeps eating.
An ecological collapse.
Langford whispered.
And not just agriculture. They'll burrow into soil, outcompete native insects, they'll consume pollinator food sources. We lose the bees, the wildflowers, the roots. Entire ecosystems collapse.
They're not just pests.
Mcallen added.
They're biological weapons and they're ours.
Hartley's voice wavered.
You're saying we need a failsafe?
A guarantee.
Mcallen corrected.
If a Hive Nexus loses containment, if a swarm escapes, if they integrate into local ecosystems, if they breed out of control, we need to ensure that the problem is eliminated. Completely.
Hartley's eyes darted to the holographic blueprint, to the shimmering towers of glass and steel, the hives stacked like fortresses of chittering life. He took a breath.
We do have a tertiary failsafe.
The screen shifted, a red icon blinking beneath each Hive Nexus, a small triangular symbol marked with a radiation hazard.
A containment device.
Hartley whispered.
A tactical nuclear option, 1 per Hive Nexus. Low yield, 1 kiloton devices buried beneath the central processing core of each hive.
The room fell into a stunned silence.
You're talking about nukes.
Secretary Langford whispered, her face pale.
A failsafe.
Hartley insisted.
If the hive breaches containment, if the automated sensors detect an uncontained swarm event, or a network isolation failure, or unauthorized genetic spread, the device is triggered. Complete sterilization.
Mcallen's smile widened.
Now we're talking. Who authorizes this trigger?
It's automated.
Hartley explained.
The system monitors for breach events. If critical containment is lost, network isolation, swarm breakout, or detected environmental spread, the device activates. A 10-second countdown. No manual override.
No manual override?
Willis adjusted his glasses.
You want to give a vending machine network nuclear launch authority?
It's not a vending machine network.
Hartley corrected, his voice a touch desperate.
It's a fully automated resilience infrastructure. If the hive loses control, there's no time for human intervention. The device triggers, the hive is sterilized.
And the city around it.
Langford whispered.
The yield is low.
Hartley said, his voice almost rehearsed.
1 kiloton, minimal fallout. The blast radius is calculated to contain the swarm, but not extend beyond the industrial district.
Contain the swarm.
Langford's voice cracked.
You're talking about incinerating our own cities.
Only if the alternative is worse.
Mcallen said, his voice steady, almost approving.
A swarm of hyperbreeding, genetically optimized insects escaping into the wild, that's an extinction event.
Or an economic apocalypse.
Willis murmured.
A proprietary genetic asset gone feral.
President Hayes leaned back, her cold gaze locked on Hartley.
And who supplies these devices?
The Department of Defense has a surplus of decommissioned tactical devices.
Mcallen said smoothly.
Low-yield, clean fusion cores, easily repurposed. With the President's authorization, we can integrate them into the hive design.
Hartley's hands were shaking now, but his voice was calm.
The nuclear devices are a failsafe, a last resort. The hives are designed to be self-contained.
But they are also designed to fail.
Willis whispered.
Every system fails. And if this one does...
I won't authorize this.
Langford snapped.
I won't sanction nuclear weapons in our cities.
I didn't ask for your authorization.
President Hayes said, her voice cold and absolute.
This is about food security. But more importantly, it's about control. Control over the only scalable protein source left on this dying planet. We cannot afford to lose that control.
A nuclear failsafe is madness.
Langford whispered.
It's order.
Mcallen said.
We control the hives, or they control us.
President Hayes leaned forward, her gaze piercing.
Hartley, can it be done? Yes.
Hartley whispered.
The devices can be integrated beneath the Hive superstructure. A breach triggers an automated detonation.
No human override?
Hayes pressed.
Nor.
Hartley whispered.
Manual overrides introduce delay. Delay means swarm.
Then it's settled.
President Hayes said.
Mcallen, coordinate with the Department of Defense. Ensure these containment devices are delivered, installed, and secured.
And beneath the polished glass, the Hive Nexuses hummed vast towers of twitching life, the crickets bred, harvested, optimized. A miracle of automation, a monopoly of life and death, a network of protein and potential ash.